What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I am back again with another video, and in today's video I'm going to be deep diving into the topic of LDOE content, and more specifically the rise and the fall of it. If you're watching this video, odds are you've watched Last Day on Earth content before, and if you've been watching for a while, you know that it's definitely had its ups and it's had its downs. So in this video I'm going to be finding the cause of the ups and the downs, and it should be a pretty fun time. If you guys do enjoy the video, be sure to leave a like, be sure to subscribe. It is free and you can always change your mind later. That being said, let's get right into the video. So, as with any game that's newly released, there is very quickly content that is released about the game, and at the time of the game being released around 2017-2018, there were 4 kind of pioneer content creators that really stick out to me, those being Starsnipe and Happy Cyric with kind of your Let's Play type content creation, and then ZDYT and Fwares kind of being your guides, your tips and tricks about the game. So any new player coming to the game, they would look at YouTube for tips and tricks, or if they just wanted to watch a Let's Play, they had the option to do so, which really helped out these content creators a lot. It also helped that with the game being new, there were constantly new updates coming out. So with those new updates coming out, players would run to YouTube to find out what's changed, how to do something new, and those new players coming to YouTube would greatly increase all these content creators' audience, and then also kind of vice versa, any audience that these content creators had before starting to play Last Day on Earth, they would see their favorite content creators playing this brand new game that looks fun, and then they would go play the game for themselves. So it was kind of like a cycle of the game bringing an audience to content creators, and then content creators bringing new players to the game. And this was beneficial for both, of course, the content creators as well as the game developers, because the content creators were building a new audience and the game developers were getting more people to play their game. To me, content creation peaked around 2018 to 2020 for a couple reasons, one of which being people being stuck inside due to the virus. So they'd have a lot more time to play these games and a lot more time to watch the content being produced. And on top of that, Kefir was at its peak of releasing content. These were when some of the best updates came out. This was when the season started. This was when the ATV came out, Bunker Bravo came out. So with all of this new content being released, a bunch of players were going to YouTube to find out what it was all about. And then around this time, this was when a lot more people started playing the game and making content about the game. A bunch of players like Mautic, Ruckus, Hemomaniac, Zombie Industries, a lot of those were people who would stream the game, so people would watch streams, and a big reason because of that is the addition of Twitch drops. So basically, if you don't know what a Twitch drop is, it's an incentive for if someone watches a stream, they can get rewards in their inbox. So every 30 minutes, I think 10% of viewers would get some rewards in their inbox, whether it be a exclusive bike skin or it be a pack of weapons. You would get in-game rewards just for watching and hopefully enjoying some of the content that these content creators were releasing. So it was a win-win for both. The players would get stuff just for watching content, and the content creators would get a bunch of viewers who were either A, hoping to get Twitch drops, or B, just wanting to find something to watch while they had nothing else to do. Around this time, YouTubers would average around 40,000 to 100,000 views per video, which for a generally small game like LDOE, that is actually really good. And then on the Twitch side of things, a lot of streamers that had drops enabled, they would average between 100 to 200 to 300 viewers per stream. So again, that's also helping out the game with more people wanting to play it, with getting an incentive to watch streams, as well as the streamers with having a bunch more people watching the game. If you think of it like kind of a line chart, it's almost the same with LDOE's popularity and the popularity of content creators. Obviously, with the game being more popular, people watching content on the game was becoming just as popular. But of course, all good things have to come to an end. If you ask me, I think the big downfall of content creation started around mid-2022. One of the big reasons for this downfall was the removal of Twitch drops, on top of Kefir just not releasing that many new updates. Obviously, with content creators not having content to make new stuff off of, they'd just be doing the same stuff every stream, the same stuff every video, and viewers would quickly get tired of it. And then on top of that, they didn't have the Twitch drop incentive. So apart from the actual content itself, there was really no kind of incentive for players to actually watch the content that was being made. Also around this time, the game had been out for around 5-6 years, so a lot of these content creators that were there from the start started experiencing burnout, been playing the same game for 5-6 years, so yeah, obviously you'd get tired of it. But again, I think the biggest reason of the downfall of content creation was just maybe it was the devs getting lazy, or maybe they were trying to do a bunch of new stuff, but even when they'd release new updates, it wasn't creating the same kind of attraction that it used to back in 2019, 2020. And then so because of that, a lot of LDOE's content creators would either A, just stop playing the game in general, or they would B, try and do a different game. I'd say only around 10% of the content creators at the time stayed making content, while many would try and dip their toes in different games, and then some would still play, and they'd upload maybe once or twice a month. And then that brings us to the current state of content creation. There's really kind of only two big names left. I'd mentioned there were 4 pioneers of content creation earlier in the video. Fuerza and ZDYT have since either quit or done their own thing, and the only one still really consistent is Starsnipe, and even then, he's only posting LDOE content once or twice a month. And then, to give him credit, Happy Cyric has been still very consistent with the LDOE content creation, while both streaming and making videos on the game about 2 to 3 times a week, so honestly, props to him for still being consistent with all that. Of course, you've still got your smaller content creators playing the game, trying to build an audience off of what player base is still left with the game, but then a lot of those small creators, only a few of those have found actual success, one of which being Pressing X, who was, at the time, about 2-3 years ago, I'd say probably the biggest content creator for LDOE at the time, but about 2 years ago he had quit. And then you still have a couple channels that are very consistent, making good quality content, but really aren't as big as some of these pioneers were. Some of those channels are SiriX, Doomaris. He still does some live streams. He can kind of be considered a big streamer for content creation, but I wouldn't necessarily put him up there with the content creators when the game was at its peak. Then you also got people like Blue Evo Gamer still making raid videos on the game to this day. And then I think the only really big streamer still is the only Spanish-speaking streamer, El Chicha. To be honest, I really don't know if he even still plays the game, but I know last I checked he was still pulling in some pretty big numbers. But yeah, pretty much if you go to Twitch now, it is a big empty wasteland. There's maybe 2 or 3 people streaming the game, averaging between 2 to 10 viewers, if even that. And then of course, with the current state of the game, there's been very, very few updates, and from the updates that we have had, they have been very, very boring and uneventful. And because of that, not a lot of people have been going to watch the events or look at tips or tricks for the events. That, and with the game being as old as it is, there is a big lack of original content. A lot of the content that there is to be made at the game has either already been made or just really isn't interesting, which is honestly a personal struggle of mine, because with the game being released 7-8 years ago, a lot of content has already been released, so it's hard to think of original ideas. But with all of that being said, I don't think that this game is completely done for. I don't think creating content for this game is completely done for, at least not yet. I think the first way to kind of revive the content creation is the devs need to step it up with the updates. I don't know what it is, but the recent updates have just been not hitting. A lot of the seasonal events have just been completely boring, and then stuff like the northern zones, a lot of it is just 90% grind and 10% actually different stuff and actually playing the game. People aren't going to want to actually just watch you sit there and grind for an hour. People want to watch something interesting, something new, something that they can learn from and get advice from. And then I think another thing that they need to add again is please bring back Twitch drops. This is something that's beneficial for both the content creators and the players. To be honest, I don't know why it was removed in the first place, but I guarantee when that is added back, or if it is even added back, it'll help the Twitch community a lot more. I think something that a lot of the future updates need to have that you can kind of take inspiration from the other updates is something that is diverse, like an event that has different strategies. It's not just a one-way path that everyone has to follow. A really good example of this is the prison break. You could either do stealthy sneak in or a big break-in, a loud break-in. So there was 2 different types of ways for you to do this. So it wasn't just you have to do this exact same way. Another good example of this is Fort Moss. As rigged as that event might have been, it was really good with the fact that there were so many different things you could do at this event. There were so many different strategies and different ways to play this event. So players would be looking at a bunch of different content creators' way that they would do this event and think, okay, this style that this content creator is doing matches my style best, so I might try and duplicate that. And then as for the content creators itself, I think there will be a kind of new wave of content creators coming. With a lot of the old ones leaving, there is bound to be a bunch of new people filling in the spots of those missing content creators. And then there's, of course, some old content creators returning. I think a big example of this is the Ruckus. He left the game about a year ago and had returned now, and he is back to playing the game again. But all in all, do I think that LDOE content creation and content creators are doomed? I do not think so at all. If I truly believed that, then I wouldn't even just be wasting my time making content. I still believe that LDOE on YouTube and LDOE on Twitch can make a good comeback. But in order for that to happen, a lot of things have to go right, starting with the devs trying to help out their content creators more by releasing new, good updates, and then again adding back Twitch drops. If they take the time and try and figure this out, I guarantee you Last Day on Earth can get back to its peak popularity. And that is the video, guys. I hope y'all did enjoy. I know this video is a lot longer than usual, but I did spend a lot of time doing research on this video and a lot of time editing this video. So if you guys do enjoy, be sure to leave a like so it can reach a higher audience and more people can hopefully find this video and enjoy it. If you guys ever have any questions about the game, you can leave them in the comments down below. I will do my best to answer any question that you leave there. Or if you want, as always, link for the Discord is in the description. But yeah, anyway, that is all for me. I hope you guys all have an amazing rest of y'all's day. I'm out. Peace.